Hello, fans, and welcome to the Utah Hockey Club postgame show with the Two Line Pass podcast. Another great game in the books, and I'm Randon, and alongside my co-hosts, Dustin and Ryan, we will break down all the goals, saves, hits, and highlights. Welcome to another postgame with the Two Line Pass. Hey, fans, welcome in to the Two Line Pass podcast postgame show. Your Utah Hockey Club gets back in the winning column, beating the Calgary Flames 5-1, almost 6-1.
I mean, it should have been 6.
Goal called back.
And realistically, if we're being honest, it should have been 6, and then it would have been 7. So we'll call it 5-1, but it should have been 7-1.
5-1 against the Calgary Flames. We called it. This was going to be our bounce back game, and I'm excited. Randon, Dustin with you. Ryan still out. Dustin, good bounce back game. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Terrific bounce back game. This was, and there was a fear, like in the world of sports, you talk about like, don't let a team beat you twice. And that's what could have happened, especially with that late game collapse against the Sharks. Like, Utah could have easily come into this game kind of looking back saying, oh, I still can't believe we let that one get away, and they could have come out flat, and this game could have gotten out of hand quickly. But in true Utah Hockey Club form, they played an outstanding first period, took total control of this game, and never relinquished it. Just pure domination is the way that you want to see a team respond after that collapse against San Jose.
Yes, absolutely. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I was nervous going into the third period with a 4-1 lead, but it all worked out. This is what we expected. Like, when the team has these leads built up, like, this is what you expect, right? We're going to assume that the San Jose game was a pure fluke. San Jose, by the way, is on a 2-game winning streak. They may never lose again. Are we the second best team in the West? People are asking. People are
saying.
This is the perfect game, though, and maybe you were watching some other stupid sport that had their ending of their stupid sport, and so maybe you missed it. Right? And so let's walk through what happened in this game, in this 5-1 victory. So it was pretty much a standard story of Utah starting the game off very, very strong, and luckily they never relinquished it. Alex Kerfoot has a tremendous first period and pays off with his first goal of the season, scoring 5 minutes in. But he played, we've said this before, but low-key one of the most important people on the ice, and he's not going to show up on the score sheet very often, but he is so important to this team, and the turnovers that he generates and the plays that he creates and the space he makes, and finally he gets his first goal of the season. And then, in an exciting fashion, right before the end of the first period, with 2 seconds left, Barrett Hayton gets his 5th goal on the year. It was a beautiful pass to Schmaltz back to Hayton, and Hayton puts it in with just under 2 seconds to go. Utah ends the first period 2 goals up. Great times. Early in the second, though, Calgary scores a goal, makes it a 2-1 game. It looks like, okay, we've seen this before. Utah jumps out to the lead, lets the team come back. Here it is. Here's the collapse. Except Maverick Lamoureux, 17 seconds later, gets his very first NHL goal and makes it Utah 3-1. So it's really great to see him, who's going to be a great defensive player for us for many years to come. Great to see him getting his first goal, many more to see. And then and the power play gets it going. There was a 5-on-3 power play opportunity, and Mikhail Sergachev cashes in. 4-1 Utah. We almost got another power play goal after that expired, but just the one for the second period. So 4-1. We've seen this again. What's going to happen in the third? Is Utah going to keep their foot on the gas? Are they going to let up? Well, they keep the foot on the gas, generating another power play opportunity. And Clayton Keller is the one who cashes in on that. Just an absolute. It was a deflection, came right to Clayton Keller. He's at the right place, right time, and puts it in. And this is what we're talking about. Obviously, this wasn't a rebound off the goalie, but this was the case of what happens when you start to move the puck towards the net. And Clayton Keller just found himself just that space created by the power play, and he just buries it. Clayton Keller also buried another goal, but it was called back because Logan Cooley absolutely dumpstered his man.
He
Just
killed a guy.
he has to lay low for a while because he destroyed him. But he happened to destroy him into the Calgary goalie, who had, in my opinion, plenty of time to reset, but chose to just sit there in his own net like an idiot. And Clayton Keller backhands it into the goal. The goal is reviewed and overturned. And yet another, I feel like the NHL at this point is just flipping coins in their review room when it comes to goaltender interference. And unfortunately, Utah lost the coin flip, but did not relinquish any pressure on the game, kept it up till the last second, and Utah rights the ship 5-1 against the Calgary Flames, now the struggling Calgary Flames, thanks to the dominant Utah performance. Dustin, what were your big takeaways from this one?
Well, you say Calgary Flames, the struggling Calgary Flames. So this was a game of two teams that were both coming in on a losing streaks, and this was a Maxwell House coffee performance by Utah Hockey Club. Like you said, good to the last drop, just all the way down. I would have loved to see a 7-1 because that goal should have not been disallowed. So it's 6-1, and then that leads with the failed challenge to a 2-minute delay of game minor penalty, and obviously Utah is going to score on that one. The only downside that I saw to this game is how your power play percentage gets calculated if there's overlapping penalties and you go 5-on-3 for a while. Like you've got basically a 3-minute span to score 2 goals, or else you're only going 50% on it. It ain't right. Like if you score a goal 5-on-3, you score it on both power plays. I don't care that when you score it, it only kills off one, and you're still on the power play. You're 1 for 1. It's having a minute of penalties overlapping. Like what if there's someone commits a 2-minute minor, and then 5 seconds later somebody else commits a 2-minute minor? You're gonna have 2 minutes and 5 seconds of power play time, and you got to score 2 goals in that span to keep 100% to score 100% on that, to go 2 for 2. And I don't like it. I think that's why our power play percentage is so low. It's just because all of the times we've had 5-on-3s, we've only scored 1 goal. It's a conspiracy.
I think is this only our second 5-on-3 opportunity of the season?
I think so. Yes.
But I like where your head's at. We'll actually have to consult the rule book, because I did wonder if you have like a 5-second power play, does that count? Or
Right.
is there a threshold for statistics that the power play has to be to count
Yeah.
as a true power play? And I don't know the answer off the top of my head.
And 5 seconds, you said that's how much time was left on the first of the two penalties. There was 5 seconds of the 5-on-3
Mm-hmm.
left when they scored that goal, so they stayed on the power play for an additional, oh, what was it, minute 20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there was plenty of time for Utah to score another one, but scoring in the NHL isn't easy. I believe Utah went 2 for 4 in their power play opportunities. One of them was the like only a minute 20 left over, and the other one was in the third period. And Utah had a great power play. Like they had a great power play attack on that one. I don't even think Calgary cleared the puck. If they did, it wasn't more than once and Utah generated opportunity after opportunity. They couldn't get it past the Wolf, but it was good to see. We called it out after the San Jose Sharks in the post game of that matchup, where we mentioned that the power play needed to get better, and it did.
Yes, absolutely. And it was Mikhail Sergachev made probably the one of the best defensive plays on the power play, keeping a puck in that was just a rocket of a clear, and Sergachev stepped right in front of it like he was saving a sure goal to keep the
It
puck
looked
in
like he
play.
took it off of his face.
It was an incredible sacrifice of the body to keep that puck in the offensive zone, and so kudos to Sergachev making that play. But a really good bounce back play from a very mediocre up until this game power play from Utah. And you mentioned Wolf, so Calgary's goalie is one of the best up and coming young goalies. We were talking about it in our little text chat that Ryan thinks that he might win the Calder Trophy for the Rookie of the Year, but he is without a doubt one of the best goalie talents in terms of up and coming goalie talents. And so it'll be fun to watch him. But for Utah to put up the numbers that they did against a very talented goalie, he was like 3-1, a 9.25 save percentage, a sub 3 goals against average, which is exactly what you want out of your goalie. So this was an excellent bounce back game, both 5-on-5 and on the power play. And we did get outshot, but we did outshoot Calgary in the third period, which is fantastic. Only got outshot by 3 goals. We continued our face-off percentage dominance. Obviously got out hit. It's no surprise there.
And that's just going to be a nightly thing for this team.
But if you got Logan Cooley who kills one guy at least once a game, I guess it doesn't matter overall hits because that one hit counted for like 30.
Yeah, and I don't know if you actually recognize it, but back here behind me, if you're watching this on the YouTube video, if you're watching this in podcast form, this is terrible podcasting. But you see this like faux brick look behind me. That's actually Connor Ingram, right behind me, right there. An actual brick wall of Connor Ingram is behind me as I record this thing. 30 saves, 97% save percentage. The man was nails all night long. Only got beat one time on a quick little just glove side two on a one-on-one breakaway, and just nothing that you can really blame him too much on. And the man was a brick wall, and I believe the second star tonight is what they gave him. So shout outs to Connor Ingram, especially how after we've not really called him out, but mentioned that he hasn't been playing well enough to win you a game, and tonight he definitely did. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, obviously the offense came to play as well, and they didn't need him to be the stalwart that he was tonight, but he was anyways. So I got to give a shout out to Ingram.
This was without a doubt one of his best efforts. And like you said, not only keeping Utah in the game, giving them a chance to win, but absolutely stealing it. And there's no letdown, no defensive letdown. Nobody was leaving him out to dry. It was a complete defensive effort. And maybe is that because the new defenseman Olimata just traded for the guy yesterday. He was playing for Detroit. We said, nope, you're playing for us now. And he jumped on a plane. We got his jersey made in less than 24 hours. And he's playing for us. And guess what? He's second on the time on ice, just only behind Sergachev. It's his first game with Utah, and he's second in time on ice for defensemen. So Olimata's defensive presence. He's a veteran defenseman. He's 30 years old. He won 2 Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's been around the league. He is once again. He's that veteran that's 5 years younger than our other veterans that we've got, and he's going to be phenomenal as a defenseman. So, is that the key to replacing Sean Durzi long term? We'll find out, but Dustin, another thing that happened today, we talked a lot about line combinations and the shifting of lines. Well, something else happened, a little unique that you don't see too often. It's not super uncommon, but they rolled with 7 defensemen and only 11 forwards. So we discussed, okay, is it going to be Spicy Tuna? Is it going to be Carcone, Yamamoto? Like, who's your fourth line winger? And Coach Trigny said, nobody. I don't need them.
It's a defenseman.
Yep. Give me a seventh defenseman, and then we'll run with 11 forwards. So this is something that Trigny has done multiple times in the past. We'll see how long he continues it. Now, the ultimate goal of this is to give your best players more time, and they called it, at least on the broadcast you may have seen, was you could double shift them, and you can play a guy like Clayton Keller on multiple lines. Well, that's a good theory. It didn't necessarily play out like that. So Clayton Keller going into this game averages just over 19 minutes a game, 19 minutes and 13 seconds. And he only had 19 minutes and 33 seconds of time on ice in this one. So not a significant uptick. You know who did have the most shifts is Nick Schmaltz, and he had 18 minutes and 51 seconds on time on ice. So both of them getting about 20 more seconds, about one more shift. Nick Schmaltz leading the team for this game, or leading the forwards rather, on shifts with 26. Now Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz both tied for the team lead in points. Nick Schmaltz with 11, Clayton Keller with 11. Nick Schmaltz, all 11 of his points are assists. So pretty neat to see my boy Nick Schmaltz doing that. But it's going to be interesting to see how, if he continues, Coach Drigney continues this 11-7, how those offensive those forwards benefit from it. Like, who's the most benefited in terms of additional air shifts and things. But probably one of the things that's going to play the biggest impact is got to stay out of the penalty box. 3 penalties, pretty good. 0 goals allowed, perfect penalty kill. But yeah, I think the 11-7 thing, I hope it's not a real thing for long term. I don't particularly like it. I don't think it's a long term strategy. But for getting out of a slump, it worked. And for shoring up some defensive suspects, especially getting Olimata back in, getting Valimaki back in, you're happy. Kesselring got over his injury, and the defensemen all played really, really well. So we'll see how long that 11-7 thing goes. But any other takeaways, Dustin, that you saw from this particular game?
You know, something else that we've called out in the past, and it's how loose Utah is or has been in the neutral zone with the puck, having giving too many giveaways, too many takeaways by the opponent, because they're trying to do too much in the neutral zone. They're trying to make that extra pass rather than just putting a shot on the net, and they're trying to do too much. Calgary with only 4 takeaways tonight. Utah only 17 giveaways, so they didn't give the puck away as much as they have been. They didn't let Calgary take it away hardly at all. Utah had 9, so they doubled them up there. Just a lot cleaner, a lot crisper, a lot smarter with the puck, and you saw the results bear out on the ice, which was really nice to see. It's almost like, I think you in our little group chat said that they just put our podcast episodes on in the locker room, and they listen to us and they know what to do. And it's getting to the point where I believe you. Like, we early on in the season, hey, they're not putting the amount of time that's left in the penalty up on the jumbotron. Next home game, there it is. We talk about, oh, you guys need to clean up the power plays, like be better on the power play. Tonight, they look outstanding on the power play. Be cleaner with the puck. Tonight, they're cleaner with the puck. Just everything that we tell them to do, they're either listening, or Bear is listening himself, and he's just passing it along. But yeah, if Utah Hockey Club, if you've got a handful of spots open on your coaching staff, obviously we know what we're talking about and what we're doing is working. The advice we're giving is working. So maybe don't mess with a good thing and just keep listening to us on the podcast instead of actually giving us a job. But I like the teamwork that we have so far. So yeah,
We
I
like the
like it.
independence. We like the independence of being away from the team because then I feel like we can give unfiltered thoughts. We don't have to be overly optimistic. We don't have to push any particular, team angle or anything. So we give you the raw, the unfiltered, the hard hitting facts. And the fact of the matter is we've been right about much many things in this particular season, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to watch and grow and learn, and so we hope you continue to join us, and hopefully on the second half of the season we start to get some exclusive two-line pass interviews with some of the players. We'll have Coach on here and he can talk about how influential the podcast has been for him. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that you continue to listen to us. We're looking ahead now to the future. We play next game at Vegas again. Vegas gets another home game.
Another home game.
Yeah, their entire season is just home games. So we travel to Vegas for one of two November games. We start November in Las Vegas, and we end November in Las Vegas. So
no, we end November at home against Vegas, not in Vegas.
No, it's it. No. It's at Vegas.
No, we play Vegas 3 times in November. We play at home against Vegas November 15th as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 3 games against Vegas in November.
Start, middle, end. Also, speaking of the middle, jerseys. Hopefully, Cole Bagley saying on Twitter, confirming that jerseys should be on sale middle of November, and they will launch on a home game. I'm hoping the earliest.
Please, sweaters.
No, I'm not. No, that's the okay. I will say this.
Can we turn this into a soccer thing? Like, no, it's a pitch, and they're called kits. They're like, no.
I will 100%. Yep, that's the 100% thing I hate, and Canada can keep that crap. I'm not gonna just call them sweaters. They had a pregame thing. Oh, who's got the best sweater? Shut up. This is a sweater. I'm wearing a sweater right now. I've got 4 hockey jerseys hanging in my closet.
Yeah,
Jersey.
I agree.
The Canadians, not the team, the Canadians, but Canada's inhabitants. The general populace of Canada calls them sweaters. We don't have to.
All right. Well, if you're going to attack the North, I'll take a shot down south to our friends down in Arizona. I'm going to say 11 assists running your offense through a guy like Nick Schmaltz feels kind of captain-y. I'm just saying.
Lots of playmakers throughout the league are captains. And, hey, I don't know, man. Maybe we were onto something. But nah, he's a shitty, lazy player. That's who he is. Yeah. So, and that's how the fans treated him. Maybe that's why he played like that.
Maybe that's why he just hated playing in your college stadium.
Yeah. Maybe if you had more than 5,000 people attending games, buying merch, still have him. You'd still hate him, but you don't. Suck it.
He's ours now.
Gonna take some pot shots. Also,
I'm sure they're hate listening to this podcast anyway.
They have to be. And if you're not, you might as well start. It is going to be a late one on Saturday, 8:00 Mountain Time start. So we'll see. Maybe we get a little tired. Maybe we get a little sleepy. Can do a post game. Maybe we can't. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Ryan's off the injured reserve list. We'll see how that plays out. But any final thoughts before we sign off for the evening, Dustin?
Prepare yourself, because this next stretch, this is going to be a grind. This is going to be a test of what this team is made of. Vegas, followed by Winnipeg and St. Louis, and then Smashville. This is going to be a tough stretch, all on the road. So bear down and find out what you're made of and set the fucking tone, boys.
Yep.
Or, as Brandon likes to edit our TikToks, set the phone.
Hey, listen. So the thing is, we've got to broaden the audience, and there's some parents in Utah don't want their kids listening to cuss words. So could you just say cuss and cuss? Maybe is that too hard?
All right, I could do as my son does. He has to replace at school. He got in a little bit of trouble for swearing at school, so he has to replace all of his swear words with dinosaurs. So I'll just set the dinosaur tone, guys.
There you go.
Set the
There you go.
dinosaur tone.
Okay. Well, this dinosaur and podcast is almost at its end, guys. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Once again, your Utah Hockey Club rights the ship, beating the Calgary Flames 5-1. Back at it Saturday against Las Vegas. Guys, thanks so much for listening. You have yourself a great night. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Two Line Pass podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at the Two Line Pass. You can follow Dustin at Highlights Ute. You can follow Randon at TLP Randon and Ryan at Carnes Ryan 0420. During the off-season, new episodes of the podcast drop every Wednesday with bonus episodes throughout. And during the season, we will have our weekly show plus game day episodes so you don't miss a minute of the action.